I entered the school in '62 and I graduated in '67, 5 years, and I've been in the cantorate since. My first pulpit was at Free Synagogue of Flushing as a student pulpit, and Fred Pickett was the choir director there and the organist, and he only originally had 4 professional singers, and I was the first cantor that they ever hired there. And this was a shock to Fred. He much preferred just doing whole services, like he'd do a whole Shalit service or a whole Pickett service or a whole free service. And when I came there, I recommended that he do an eclectic service, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, so that everybody in the congregation would have at least one piece in the service that they could feel, oh, that's my music. My wife tells me that I'm the missing link between the old chazanut and between the modern guitar stuff. And I would do both. I would do both and bring everything else in between. When I was a kid, my father was an immigrant from Warsaw, and he loved to sing. And we sang on WEVD. My brother, my sister, and I were the kid trios who would open up the children's hour with "Hula Hula Kinderlachten," and we'd do that. And then I also, in my synagogue, the Young Israel, we did the Gilbert and Sullivan version of the Purim Spiel that had some music from Gilbert and Sullivan, and I got to play the Humintash. I think I was maybe 6, I think. Then I joined Oscar Julius's choir, and remarkably enough, we used to sing Ki ben Tsiach, so shon shokim, something like that. Da da. You know, no cantor worth their salt now would do "Here Comes the Bride" because of Wagner. But here in this Orthodox shul, we sang "Here Comes the Bride." I just sang all over. I was one of the few who made my living just singing. And I immediately auditioned for the Met chorus, and I got in right away. I had polio when I was 20 months old, but I could still walk around, but I limped a little bit. And I could still walk up steps one at a time. But during the season of '61, because of all the dancing and show stuff that I was doing, my left ankle literally deteriorated into chips. So here I was, a good atheist, which I was, and I had 2 operations, was in the hospital for over a year. And when I came out, I couldn't do show business anymore because I couldn't walk up steps. It was very hard for me to walk. So with the help of many psychologists and social workers, they recommended that I go to HUC and become a cantor. And remarkably enough, when I auditioned, I told them I was an atheist, and they said that didn't bother them. Most Reform Jews are. And they accepted me into the school. And I'm glad they did. And then my first job was up in Rochester when I graduated. And after 2 years, I left it. I couldn't stand it. It was too classical. So after my 2-year contract, I quit, auditioned, and chose to go to Oakland. And so I was 11 years at Oakland Sinai congregation, and then an audition for Beth Am. And I got the job at Beth Am. That was in '81. Well, they accepted me, first of all, because of my singing and because I got the congregation singing who used to sit on their hands. And that made a big difference to them. But also I added spirituality to a highly intellectual atmosphere. I gave them something personal to work for. The change I see also is the desire to go back to guitar playing and song leading, rather than really being in depth. The main thing I hope people would say is that I have touched them and I have opened up them to deeper emotions and deeper understandings of what Judaism is all about. And that's what I would like people to remember me as. Hey, he's the guy who got me to think. who got me to challenge, who got me to ask questions and ask myself questions. That's what I want to be remembered for.